Action. And I'm back with episode 14, I believe, of Quarantine Conversation. I know it's been ongoing, it's an ongoing project. 14 times I've talked to people about their situation during the isolation associated with COVID 19. And today I have the lovely and talented and vivacious and effervescent Imani, Nia Robinson from Three Blind Mice Television. She
Oh,
is an actress. She is a writer. She is a producer. She is what else? A lover of life, I believe.
it's true.
Indeed, indeed. So, Miss Robinson, thank you so much for being here on Quarantine Conversation. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you for asking.
It's
How are
good.
you doing?
I'm okay. You got a little sunshine hitting you right now.
The glow,
It
the
feels
glow.
warm. Yep, yep, yep. Um,
It's a nice day.
let's open it right up to what the purpose of this whole discussion is. Um, you're a creative. You're a collaborative. Just like myself, I have been enormously impacted by not only the quarantine, but in general, the onset of the coronavirus and its effects on our society. How are you coping with it presently? How have you been over the last couple of weeks in during this quarantine? And you know, talk to me a little bit about that.
Yeah. I mean, it's obviously a very weird time and it kind of I feel like I'm in a daze sometimes. Like it doesn't always feel real. But I've just been trying to just really stay positive in prayer and staying connected with my family and loved ones during this time. Um, and just really educate myself about what's happening and just staying connected with the news on a daily basis, um, just to keep myself informed, and hopefully that will lessen my anxiety about everything. But I just know that we're all kind of in the same boat, and so everyone's really in a relatable space, so that also brings me comfort that I can just talk to everybody or anybody about it. So I just try and just stay communicative with lots of people.
Right on. I can relate to that. Part and parcel of the reason why I started this series. Um, Being able to identify with everything you said. Um, what are some of the things that you're doing to keep yourself sort of sharp? You know, the
Yeah, like
term iron.
creatively.
Yeah, iron sharpens iron. What are you doing? Because I know you had a project like in full swing as this whole thing happened. You want to talk a little bit about your project and how the quarantine has affected you?
Yeah. So obviously, yes. Well, the thing about my project is that this has been an ongoing mission for like, I don't know, 3.5 years now. And so right now, this is my third attempt. Okay, my third attempt at bringing Three Blind Mice to fruition, and I'm now on my third director. And third time's the charm, and I really feel like this is it for me. Like this is a really good partnership I have, and honestly, this global pause for me has been a blessing because I've been able to kind of revamp the vision, and the script has changed tremendously for the better, and it's happened during this time. And so it's been a blessing for me and my craft. In order for me to stay sharp, what I do every night is I write my daily schedule, and I do it for like hour to hour. Everything's planned out for me. So I like to start my mornings with like a guided meditation, and then listening to, um, you know, a motivational speaker, and that really helps set my intention for the day. So as long as I just stay on task, things will get done. I need to have an intention. So
Mhm.
That's how I personally stay sharp. And we have weekly Zoom calls with the cast. So we keep doing table reads and like rehearsals with the cast, as well as the director and myself, who's really become like my creative partner in this. So we make sure that we stay connected and we continue to work. And it's like really a collaborative process. So as long as we're all on the same page, I think it's been really helpful that way.
That's excellent. And shout out to Three Times a Charm. Shout out to Christina Richardson,
Yeah,
who I know is heading the helm of your vision for Three Blind Mice. And
mm-hmm.
I also feel you in, you know, struggling with trying to keep things moving in a positive direction during such unsure and isolating times. So I commend you. I see on your Instagram that you've been conducting these table reads via this new technology, Zoom. Um,
Yeah.
for filmmakers and for collaborators who haven't used it yet, how's that going? How do you feel about
I actually like it a lot. Because I know Google Hangout kind of it's more distracting, but I like Zoom because you can like rearrange, you can see everyone at once, and I think it's helpful.
it?
I know everyone's using Zoom right now, even for like us, even for happy hours with their friends, they do it.
Right on, right on.
Great.
Before we really started the conversation, you know, we have some old school ties that go way back. I know your family. Talk to me a little bit about how your family is coping during this time, and um, you know how things are working out there.
Yeah. My family, we actually had a family meeting on Zoom. We're just trying just to make sure that we're all okay, not only health wise, but also financially. Um, like, God forbid, the banks close or we can't get a certain amount of money. We try and like have those discussions. And like saying like who are some Black economists that we could like get some knowledge from. Like we try and like think about things like that during this time. Um, if we should be investing in stocks at this time or
Hmm.
saving, like we don't really know, so we just try and have that dialogue when hopefully this time ends. um,
Yeah, and do me a
so we
favor because
just try and just stay again.
you broke up a little bit when you were about to say we invest in. So can you repeat that again for anybody who's listening?
Oh wait, what did you said? I said invested.
No, you invest in stocks.
Oh yeah, like we're trying to discuss if at this time is it wise for us to invest in stocks at this time? Should we be saving our money? What should we be doing? So we try and stay in communication, you know, with that, should we be taking like iodine? Like how can we combat this virus? Where does it stem from? So again, communication is what we've been trying to do on a regular.
That is such wonderful advice. But not so much advice, but a practice that I think that a lot of us are missing. Um, what's your thought about us going into this whole COVID-19 thing as a people, thinking that we were um, impenetrable, that we could not, that we were immune to the COVID? I'm sure you heard it. I heard it.
Mhm.
I even maybe even thought it in the back of my mind at one point. I don't notice any. But now all of a sudden the tables have turned. I've seen some very disturbing statistics about people of color being affected by by the COVID-19 crisis, and our conditioning in society, I think, has led to that. What's your thoughts on that? How do you feel?
I mean, there's a lot of people who probably don't even know about what this pandemic that's happening. People who maybe aren't like socially connected. Um, people who might have who might be homeless at this time and don't even know, or you know, a lot of people who might have I don't know, there's a whole myriad of reasons. But I mean, I think it's kind of, it's unfortunate people who don't take this seriously. um I think that might be another reason why people aren't, everyone's not social distancing. I think that's also might cause this global pause to um I think it might cause us to like have to be in this predicament for a longer period of time because people aren't really taking it seriously. I mean, I know there was a few cases that even infants were even tested positive for the virus. So really anyone can be exposed to this. It's I mean, obviously elderly are people who should really take a lot of precaution, especially too, but anyone can get it. And I know I just I worry about people who don't take it seriously. Um I don't know, it's just kind of scary to think about.
You're absolutely right. People that aren't taking this seriously, it becomes a little hairy, a little scary for all of us who are taking
Mhm.
it seriously.
Mhm.
Um, and it
Yeah.
leads me to wonder what things are going to be like in the future. Like, for example, I'm working my behind off every day, all day, to ensure that somehow, some way, that all this time in isolation is positive, and that not only myself but my immediate family and surroundings come out of this thing on top. Um,
Mhm.
are you doing anything that you weren't doing previously to sort of ensure that on the other side? If so, what is it?
To ensure what on the other side?
To ensure a better way, a better you.
Oh yes. Oh yes, I have actually. One was the meditation um that I like to instill. Also reading. I really want to take this time to really exercise my mind, and I've been trying to do more research on, you know, Black history specifically. Um I really wanted to know like the history from, you know, African history all the way up till now. So that's always been something that I always wanted to educate myself on. Um, just really wanted just to learn more because I really don't read as much as I should. So that's been a goal of mine during this time.
Right on, right on. And
Yeah.
then finally, for anybody who has sort of been, you know, spiritually affected by this, not just the isolation of quarantine, but perhaps loss of loved ones. I've personally been affected by COVID because not only have I known people who have already passed on from the disease and from the virus, but prior to this, I experienced a month of people dying prior to the quarantine.
Mhm.
My grandmother passed away.
Yeah.
My cousin passed away. I knew someone else that passed away that was close to our family. Now
Sorry.
we're in this situation where people are dying left and right. People we don't know, names we've never heard of, but then people in our communities that are dying. And for those of us who are just left in the wake of this, what words of encouragement can you bring to this conversation that might, maybe somebody's not paying attention to or they're not incorporating in their own life?
Mhm. Well, yeah, I know some people who've lost loved ones during this time as well. Um, I think if you don't have a spiritual background, I think it's important at least just to sit in silence or even maybe reach out to those people. Sometimes people don't always want to hear and I'm sorry, are you okay? Maybe someone might just want to just feel your presence. So if you call them and just sit with them for a little while for a moment in silence, I think that would be helpful. For those who do have a spiritual background or do believe in things like that, I think it's important to, you know, if you hear like a siren, you know, drive by, send your heart out, send your love out. I think it's important to pray, have a dialogue with, a higher power. I think speaking out loud is helpful when you're in prayer. I know a lot of churches are having, Zoom calls or conference lines throughout the week. So I like to listen in to my church specifically during that time. Just have like a connection with people who are, Christians or what have you. I think it's important to have like weekly prayers by yourself and also collectively with others.
Thank you so much
You're
for
welcome.
participating in this conversation today.
Thank you
I
for having me.
feel I feel your energy, and you're a beautiful person. You know that I've always had an affinity for you as a creative. I think that you're a dynamite talent, and I feel like you have a lot to offer the world, um, not just with your creativity and your showmanship, but also with your everyday practical knowledge. And so for that, I thank you for being here. Um, Anybody who wants to follow you, how can they follow you?
Oh, I'm on Instagram. My handle is Imani Nia Robinson. And if you'd like to follow my show, my project, it's Three Blind Mice _ television.
Okay, there it is. And once again, for the 14th time, I remind you that my name is Lamar Maxon. You can find me at Nonstop Show Group. You can find me at Queen City Film Fest NJ. And we are also on www.qcfnj.com. Quarantine Conversations, Imani Nia Robinson. Thank you, my dear. Send my
Thank
love and
you.
regards to your mom and to your aunt or your cousin Jody. I love them all, and I will be in touch very soon with you. And continued
Thank you so
success
much.
on Three Blind Mice Television. I'm really looking forward to seeing that and participating in some screeners and promotions with that. That's an upcoming something I have to look forward to in the future. So
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
you got it. You got it. Talk to you soon.